Where is Daldal in all the list of things that y'all have made?
We just celebrated the success of
Yeah, I
Daldal
saw
with
that.
the
Yeah,
team
yeah.
and with the team at Prime Video as well.
Yeah.
There were times when I would tell Suresh,
Right.
I think you're done with the prep and the analysis of these characters.
Umi was playing Rita,
Yeah.
but unless the antagonist is good, the protagonist will never shine out. And we were very clear that we wanted someone, in fact, the reason as to why we went to Samara.
You took Aditya again in Subedar. He was exceptional. He was again amazing.
I first met Aditya after I saw Bumphard in the COVID times. And I really thought that this guy has got some presence. And I think he's one of the finest talent that I have ever interacted with. And I see a very big future for him.
To find partners like Suresh, and what does it take if writers, directors are watching this interview and listening to you? What is your company?
I'm lucky, fortunate that I have Suresh as a partner. It also takes a very wicked and wild common sensibility in our jokes are usually understood only by the two of us. Our WhatsApp chat resembles two school batchmates chatting.
Madhuri Dixit doesn't do everything. Like, she wears we keep seeing her on and off, which is great. What does it take to convince?
She is Madhuri Dixit.
Yeah, she's Madhuri.
And you're going to get that one opportunity where you're going to narrate the script to her. And you won't believe at the end of the narration, she said, I'm doing it. And I said, what?
Guys, welcome to Bollywood Hungama. Good to see both of you. I have a lot of questions because you all have entertained us this year specifically. I was telling Vikram, I'm the biggest, you also know, biggest voice on how great Daldal was. It was one of the best shows I've seen, and everything about it, from the storytelling to the acting to your production. When things work, they just work. What response have you got from all corners?
It's been very humbling, to be really honest, in terms of, because for me individually and for us together, working on a show was for the first time. I was always reluctant to get into shows for obvious reasons that there's a long time commitment. But Daldal attracted me, and what I was extremely happy about is I just realized that people look at the show in their finest details, like the nuancing and of course, what you get from the fraternity, what you get in terms of feedback from the fraternity, from the critics, all that is encouraging and all that is great. But what happens is ultimately we're showing it to the audience.
Yeah.
And when those messages, when the DMs are filled up with moments that connected with the audience, there's nothing bigger than that, because I think that is the entire endeavor of getting into a series, because you have the opportunity to have a very microscopic lens and work on each scene, the nuance and each character. So that was very encouraging. And I think a lot of people got what we're trying to say, because for people who thought that, it's not a whodunit, okay, that's their bad, okay, because we are very conscious that we were not going into that direction.
Correct. Right. Where is Daldal in all the list of things that y'all have made?
Daldal's right up there. In
Right.
fact, we just celebrated the success of
Yeah, I
Daldal
saw
with
that.
the
Yeah,
team
yeah.
and with the team at Prime Video as well.
Yeah.
And one of the conversations that we were having was how genre breaking the show was within thrillers and whodunits, and what an incredible talent list came out from a show like Daldal.
Yeah.
So I rated right up there, and complete credit to Suresh, because I have seen this being put together from scratch, taking the base material of Vish Dhameja's books, adapting them into another orbit altogether, took time.
Yeah.
Suresh assembled a phenomenal team of writers. Amrit came on board.
Right.
But how it was driven from a vision of high quality from day one, I have been a close quarter witness to that. There were times when I would tell Suresh, I think you're done with the prep and the analysis of these characters and the medium. Now please write.
Right.
But when this is the result of all that effort that Suresh and team have put in,
Right.
it's just heartening to see people give this kind of a response.
Right. Yola, with the kind of talent that came out of it, I went in expecting nothing. I became a fan of the actors. Bhumi we know is a great actor. We've seen so much work that she's done. Samara and Aditya were, revelations for us. What did you see earlier? Do you remember what did you see that you finalized them?
So we were very clear because in whatever we do or I do to, I'm very clear that unless you are hooked onto the characters, unless you have well written characters, no story is going to appeal to you. So we were very sure. Of course, Bhumi was playing Rita, but unless the antagonist is good, the protagonist will never shine out. And we were very clear that we wanted someone. In fact, the reason as to why we went to Samara, I mean, she gave a terrific audition. It's one of the finest auditions I've ever seen.
Wow.
And after seeing the audition, we also realized that we wanted, because see what happens when you have a new actor, you have the freedom to play around.
Correct, yeah.
Right. And also, a lot of things are not expected because when you have too known an actor, you know that this character might do this, all of that. And that's where Samara came in. We'd already seen the audition. Her previous work was incredible. And Aditya, of course, I've been interacting with him for a while now.
Yeah.
He also, I mean, such a serious actor. When I mean serious, not in the boring manner. I mean, he definitely takes his craft very, very seriously. And we knew somewhere that these characters are going to shine. And they brought so much life because it's not just a black and white. The characters are not black and white. Everyone is grey.
Yeah.
And when the characters are grey, they need to be lived in. And I think that's where actually they brought some empathy
Right.
to Sajid and Anita. And that was incredible to see that.
Vikram, you've worked with the biggest stars in this industry. What kind of a learning it is for you when two actors like that come and just shine?
It's validation. It's validation of there being an abundance of talent available in this country. It's also happiness when you see established, amazing directors like Suresh give opportunities to these actors. I'll be upfront with you. Suresh had a certain kind of Anita and a certain kind of Sajid in mind at the time he was writing these characters. And there was no compromise in the face of any form of artificial reasons that we impose upon ourselves to say, let's get a recognized face, let's do this. And these two terrific actors came through. I believe today is a time, Rohit, that the audience is ready to watch actors as characters in those stories.
Yeah, so true. Yeah.
It could be the biggest superstar, it could be a newcomer. They need to fit the demands of the storyteller and the audience, and only then will they connect.
Wow, yeah, that's so true. What is your biggest learning from Dal Dal?
Biggest learning?
Yeah.
Still learning because I think as the feedback still keeps coming in. Okay, one of the biggest learning is that go with a certain conviction, like in a way saying that you can't go because there's a certain format to a crime story. You need not follow that. Okay, if you're going against the algorithms, it will still connect.
Correct.
And I think that's a huge learning.
Right.
And I think I'll give all the credits to the battery of writers that we had, who actually went ahead and they had the patience to work with me.
Right. Right. You took Aditya again in Subedar. He was exceptional. He was again amazing. When did this thing happen that you approached him for both? Or did you see his work in one and then approach him for the other one?
So I first met Aditya after I saw Bumpard during the COVID times. And I really thought that this guy has got some presence. And I met him. I mean, of course, I interacted with him, but strangely, we started writing together because he's a fantastic writer. So he's in fact written a film for me, which is actually the first draft is done. It's up to me right now. And then while interacting, because we were working as writers, and that's when the conversations of Dal Dal started. So first he was cast for Daldal. He
Okay.
tested for it,
Okay.
and did a brilliant test again. Subedar initially I had offered to him. He was not very keen initially because he was a little worried about about the image and all of that. But later on came on board and saying that okay, fine, let me just. I think he wanted to play a character where he can just go all out.
Yeah, he did
Okay.
go all out.
And I am very. I think he's one of the finest talents
Yes.
that I have ever interacted with, and I
Right.
see a very big future for him.
Wow, that's really great, because also I interviewed both of your actors separately also, and there was so much to learn when you're interviewing these younger people. They have a different kind of fire, a different outlook as well. Now the next will be Maa Behen.
Yeah.
I know we'll do interviews later also, but at this stage, what do you want to tell the audience? They've already seen what you both have done. What do you want to tell them at this stage?
See, I'll tell you what, I think if you see the clear distinctions of genres,
Yeah.
Daldal was like a psychological crime thriller. You went into Subedar, which is an action drama. And because it's very obvious that we like to work on various genres. Maa Behen, I would call it falls in the zone of dramedy.
Okay.
As my writer Pooja says, it's also a domestic noir. Okay. And what you can expect from Maa Behen is, I think, a wholesome entertainment. I know it's a very generic term when I say
Yeah.
that. Some terrific performances.
Right.
It's got a premise which will be, of course, you'll get to see it in the trailers and all of it. The premise is something that hooks you into the narrative. And some crazy comedy performances, yeah, that's something which will, people who love actually, for example, Tumhari Sulu,
Yes.
I'm sure will connect with Maa Behen. That's what I feel. I don't know.
Right.
Wanna add
Yeah.
further?
What are your expectations from Maa Behen?
I expect a riot.
Ah.
I know up close and personal what Suresh and his team have done on this film. They've had a ball making it. Madhuri, Tripti, Dharna, Ravi, they've had a ball shooting this. It all shows up in the film. I hope the audience connects with it, because this is going to be a ride like there's been no other.
Right.
Yeah, and you know what? And genuinely, like it's become like a cliche when filmmakers say that, it was a dream to work on. But this truly was, because such good camaraderie, okay, and we were working in some very tough situations because it was unforeseen monsoon that came early. But just a bunch of actors. There's Gitanjali Kulkarni, there was Arno there was Shardul, and it was great, yeah, just to bring that and just to work on comedy.
Correct. Yeah.
It's such a relief, such a
Right.
huge relief.
Madhuri Dixit doesn't do everything. Like, she wears very, we keep seeing her on and off, which is great. What does it take to convince her to say yes?
That's very interesting. In fact, while we had written this film, we wanted to approach her.
You already written for her, keeping her in mind.
Yeah, the first draft that we had written, and then, of course, as we kept writing, we were wondering who to go to approach to and all of it. Finally, we mustered the courage and went up to her. She is Madhuri Dixit.
Yeah, she's Madhuri
And you're
Dixit,
going to get that one opportunity where you're going to narrate the script to her. It was surreal, to be really honest. In fact, me, my writer and my producer, Isha, three of us went there and we narrated the script to her. She had given us 2 hours. We ended up narrating it for 3.5 hours.
Wow.
You won't believe at the end of the narration, she said, "I'm doing it." And I said,
Wow.
"What? Was it this simple?"
Yeah.
But I think she was very gracious. She enjoyed the narration. She was totally in it. And I think I'm very blessed that I got to work with her. I'm not exaggerating it. She's just incredible.
Right. Vikram, lastly to you, you've been running this for 13 years now. Yeah.
Almost.
Almost 13 years. To find partners like Suresh, and what does it take? Also, you work with people before, you will obviously work with people later also. What will it take? If writers, directors are watching this interview and listening to you, what is your company and what are you looking for?
To find partners like Suresh, it takes a amount of good fortune. I'm lucky, fortunate that I have Suresh as a partner. It also takes a very wicked and wild common sensibility in our jokes are usually understood only by the two of us. Our WhatsApp chat resembles two school batchmates chatting. They have very little to do with work. I also feel that the sincerity I always say this word, talent in today's world is hygiene. It's par for the course. It's application of that talent. It's that sincerity. It's that sense of respect to team, to craft. It's the discipline. Ask anyone in Abundancia. You come in the morning, Suresh's car is there in the parking lot. Most of the times when you're leaving, Suresh's car is there in the parking lot.
Right.
You need discipline and not just talent and command over craft. You need leadership to be able to create at the quality at which he has created in Opening Image in just 2 years.
Yeah. True.
Daldal Subedar Maa Behen, new talent being launched by Opening Image, which Suresh will tell you about it. New work happening. It does not happen when you have any distraction of your focus. He works single-mindedly. He's a genre jumper, as I call him. And the collaborative approach is what is the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
You can't ask for anything more in a collaborator when you work with. And most importantly, we have a great time while doing it. We've now worked with each other for a little over 6 years.
Okay. 6 years.
I have never thought about picking up the phone and saying something to him under the worry, what will he think about it?
The transparency is there.
There are random conversations, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't hold back in saying anything that he wants to me. I know that. So I think when you get to that level of understanding and collaboration, I think that's when magic starts happening. All I can say is that I've had the good fortune of working with some amazing creators, directors, showrunners, co-producers. I only have one company outside of Abundancia that I'm partnered in, and that is Suresh's company, Opening Image.
Wow. This is great pace that he was saying. These 3 in just 2 years. That's really great pace. Do you plan to keep this? Are we going to see a lot more?
He would
No
definitely
pressure.
like to keep
No
things
pressure.
like that. No. So
Say
you
yes.
know what? All of this seems like it's happened because the releases have all been sequenced one after another.
Right.
But there's a result of hard work in the last 3-4 years, right?
Yeah.
And all of this, while I can take the credit that all of this is the work that's come under my so-called creative team, but there's an invisible support. And that's where I think, and I'm not just because he's sitting over here, but the fact that I know that all of this seems very easy, that it's all come out over here, but it's taken a lot of patience, like from his end. Yes, going forward, Opening Image, and that's something that he's kind of strengthened my vision in terms of how I want to tell stories. Of course, so far I have directed it, but the idea is also to make it like a fertile ground for newer talents and to have some path-breaking stories, because what we're trying to do is also that, clearly sensing the times and the audience preferences. I think it's a high time that we need to reinvent ourselves in our storytelling.
Yeah, true.
So the intent in the next few years is to actually have some newer talent coming in. Already, some of it is under work.
Wow.
Okay, and hopefully bring it before the screen. Size of the screen doesn't matter, but yeah,
Right.
what goes in the screen matters.
Right, great. Thank you for entertaining us. That's what you all are doing. It's a huge responsibility that you all have taken and you all are enjoying. Like you said at the start, viewer is the ultimate winner. That's what we are. हम enjoy कर रहे हैं, आप बनाते रहो. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rohit.
Thank you, Rohit.
Thank you.